Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 5, Book 59, number 325. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's Apostle sent out 10 spies under the command of Azam bin Thabit al-Ansari, the grandfather of Azam bin Umar al-Khattab. When they reached a place called Al-Hada between Asfan and Mecca, their presence was made known to a sub-tribe of Hudhail called Banu Lahiyan. So they sent about 100 archers after them. The archers traced the footsteps of the Muslims till they found the traces of dates which they had eaten at one of their camping places. The archers said, "These dates are of Yathrib, i.e. Medina," and went on tracing the Muslims' footsteps. When Azam and his companions became aware of them, they took refuge in a high place. But the enemy encircled them and said, "Come down and surrender. We give you a solemn promise and covenant that we will not kill any one of you." Azam bin Thabit said, "O people, as for myself, I will never get down to be under the protection of an infidel. O Allah, inform your prophet about us." So the archers threw their arrows at them and martyred Azam. 3 of them came down and surrendered to them, accepting their promise and covenant, and they were Kubayb, Zaid bin ad-Dathina and another man. When the archers got hold of them, they untied the strings of the arrow bows and tied their captives with them. The third man said, "This is the first proof of treachery. By Allah, I will not go with you, for I follow the example of these." He meant the martyred companions. The archers dragged him and struggled with him, till they martyred him. Then Kubayb and Zaid bin ad-Dathina were taken away by them, and later on they sold him as slaves in Mecca after the event of the Badr battle. The sons of al-Harith bin Amr bin Nawfal bought Kubayb, for he was a person who had killed their father, al-Harith bin Amr, on the day of the Battle of Badr. Kubayb remained imprisoned by them till they decided unanimously to kill him. One day Kubayb borrowed from a daughter of al-Harith a razor for shaving his public hair, and she lent it to him. By chance, while she was inattentive, a little son of hers went to him, i.e. Kubayb, and she saw that Kubayb had seated him on his thigh while the razor was in his hand. She was so much terrified that Kubayb noticed her fear and said, "Are you afraid that I will kill him? Never would I do such a thing." Later on, while narrating the story, she said, "By Allah, I had never seen a better captive than Kubayb. By Allah, one day I saw him eating from a bunch of grapes in his hand while he was fettered with iron chains, and, at that time, there was no fruit in Mecca." She used to say, it was food Allah had provided Kubayb with. When they took him to Al-Hil out of Mecca sanctuary to martyr him, Kubayb requested them, "Allow me to offer a 2 rakat prayer." They allowed him, and he prayed 2 rakat and then said, "By Allah, had I not been afraid that you would think I was worried, I would have prayed more." Then he invoked evil upon him, saying, "O Allah, count them and kill them one by one, and do not leave any one of them." Then he recited, "As I am martyred as a Muslim, I do not care in what way I receive my death for Allah's sake, for this is for the cause of Allah. If He wishes, He will bless the cut limbs of my body." Then Abu Sava, Ubka bin al-Harith, went up to him and killed him. It was Kubayb who set the tradition of praying for any Muslim to be martyred in captivity, before he is executed. The Prophet told his companions of what had happened to those 10 spies. On the same day they were martyred. Some Quraysh people, being informed of Azam bin Thabit's death, sent some messengers to bring a part of his body so that his death might be known for certain, for he had previously killed one of their leaders in the Battle of Badr. But Allah sent a swarm of wasps to protect the dead body of Azam, and they shielded him from the messengers who could not cut anything from his body. Volume 5, Book 59, number 326. Narrated by Nafi. Ibn Umar was once told that Said bin Zaid bin Amr bin Nufayl, one of the Badr warriors, had fallen ill on a Friday. Ibn Umar wrote to him late in the forenoon. The time of the Friday prayer approached and Ibn Umar did not take part in the Friday prayer. Narrated Sabiah bint al-Harith, that she was married to Sa'd bin Khawla, who was from the tribe of Bani Amr bin Lu'ay, and was one of those who fought the Badr battle. He died while she was pregnant during Hajjat al-Wada. Soon after his death, she gave birth to a child. When she completed the term of deliver, i.e. became clean, she prepared herself for suitors. Abu as-Sanabal bin Bukak, a man from the tribe of Bani Abd-ud-Dal, called on her and said to her, "What? I see you dressed up for the people to ask you in marriage. Do you want to marry? By Allah, you are not allowed to marry unless 4 months and 10 days have elapsed after your husband's death." Sabiah in her narration said, "When he, i.e. Abu as-Sanabal, said this to me, I put on my dress in the evening and went to Allah's apostle and asked him about this problem. He gave the verdict that I was free to marry as I had already given birth to my child and ordered me to marry if I wished." Volume 5, Book 59, number 327. Narrated by Rifar, who was one of the Badr warriors. Gabriel came to the Prophet and said, "How do you look upon the warriors of Badr among yourselves?" The Prophet said, "As the best of the Muslims," or said a similar statement. On that, Gabriel said, "And so are the angels who participated in the Badr battle." Volume 5, Book 59, number 328. Narrated by Mu'a bin Rifa bin Rafi. Rifa was one of the warriors of Badr while his father, Rafi, was one of the people of Al-Aqaba, i.e. those who gave the pledge of allegiance at Al-Aqaba. Rafi used to say to his son, "I would not have been happier if I had taken part in the Badr battle instead of taking part in the Aqaba pledge." Volume 5, Book 59, number 329. Narrated by Mu'a. The one who asked the Prophet was Gabriel. Volume 5, Book 59, number 330. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. The Prophet said on the day of the battle of Badr, "This is Gabriel holding the head of his horse and equipped with arms for the battle." Volume 5, Book 59, number 331. Narrated by Anas. Abu Zaid died and did not leave any offspring, and he was one of the Badr warriors. Volume 5, Book 59, number 332. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Abu Sa'id bin Malik al-Khudri returned from a journey and his family offered him some meat of sacrifices offered at Eid al-Adha. On that he said, "I will not eat it," before asking whether it is allowed. He went to his maternal brother, Qatada bin Man, who was one of the Badr warriors, and asked him about it. Qatada said, "After your departure, an order was issued by the Prophet cancelling the prohibition of eating sacrifices after 3 days.